White, the senior advisor to President Trump for the White House Faith Office. Pastor, you know, I really have a hard time understanding the idea that there are people, government officials, that think they can offer gender-affirming care to children without parental consent. By the way, a position that Tim Walz took in his state of Minnesota. And here parents are standing up for their rights. I believe the parents are not potted plants, and you see the reaction. What's your reaction?
Well, Sean, thank you for having us on this program. It's such an important part to us at the White House Faith Office under President Trump's leadership. First off, we will not tolerate any kind of religious discrimination, which has happened to this group at the Seattle May Day worship service. It is just unbelievable. There are so many more people. The masses agree with you, Sean. They call it something nice, gender-affirming care, but we know it is child mutilation to transition a child without a parent's consent at a very early age. My goodness, I think about when I was 20-something years old, I didn't even know what I wanted for dinner sometimes. How can you make a decision when you're 6 years old, 8 years old? And this was a peaceful time of fun days. They were doing things like giving out bikes and food and giving free haircuts, and Antifa did these sexual lewd acts in front of these children. And that is why we at the White House Faith Office came out with such a strong statement condemning the violence that took place at this peaceful worship service and this day to give back to the community. We also said that every public official must stand for the right of every American for religious liberty and free speech. This is protected under federal law. And our administration, and thank goodness for our FBI leaders, for our deputy, and for Dan Bongino to come out and say a full investigation is going to be a part. Our office did, Hermit did, the civil rights leader of DOJ. President Trump stands behind this so strong and so firmly that every American must be protected. As our former person said, they were given this license, this permit to do this after they were turned down for 2 other locations. It looked like a setup. And public officials must protect all people of all faith and all religion. This should not be allowed.
All right, we appreciate you being with us,